go across to my guest this evening. Mahesh Palawat is a VP of Meteorology and Climate Change at SkyMet. He's joining us on the broadcast. And Abinash Mohanty is a sector head of climate change and sustainability at IPE Global. And he's also a climate scientist. Thank you very much. Mr. Mohanty, let me come to you first. As we set up this show, I'm fairly certain there were many people wondering, but how is all of this tied? How's the heat wave in India, the floods in Assam, the raging forest fires in Canada, and Europe heating up, and the Himalayan glaciers melting as quickly as they are? How's all of this related? Is it related, or are we just trying to find a pattern when there is none?
Good evening, Shreya, and thank you very much for having such a timely conversation. While we are talking of all of this vicious cycle, let me tell you that climate change is, or the impacts that we are witnessing at different parts of the globe, is actually a perfect storm. Somewhere it's heat wave, somewhere within India. Let's concentrate more on India. The Northeast is witnessing flash floods at this as we speak. Similarly, 5 to 6 states are witnessing heat waves. We just had some onset of monsoon through Kerala. Then we just managed one of the high-intensity cyclones across the western coast, which is a rare event in this part of the months and seasons. At the same time, there are forest fires within India also, which are going, many of these forest fire events are going unreported. At South Asian level, we also have these impacts been cascading. So this is what is a perfect storm. And we are actually not trying to connect the dots. What is a larger problem is, there is a problem. And the problem is that climate change has got cascading impacts more and more in terms of patterns than in waves, that I would suggest. Now, what is happening? This is what is happening. We have, while we are gearing up or preparing for monsoon, because we are almost in the flag end of June, where we should start preparing for incessant, rather than incessant rainfall, monsoonal floods to be managed. We are trying to manage heat waves. And there are already reporting which has happened that more than 100 people have lost their lives. Of course, the empirical evidence has to be connected on this. But what is a major concern is heat waves in flag end of June. That's point number one. Point number two is we have got floods in the northern eastern part. And all of these cascading impacts are ravaging our lives and livelihood, more importantly, and infrastructures are getting damaged, number one. Number two, it also has got a slow poison impact. It is why, because India's 3/4 of the districts are extreme event hotspots. More importantly, 8 out of 10 people are exposed to heat wave or heat wave-like situation. That means even if there is some sort of relief due to rainfall, our thermal comfort levels are kind of not within the benchmark. That's why there comes the question of whether we have accessibility to kind of cooling appliances. So the whole conversation of just transition comes into picture. So basically, my point this evening is that climate change is not just an extreme event kind of follow-up story, but it has a story that impacts our lives, livelihood, economies, and more importantly, our infrastructure. And that's where our aspiration or the economic aspiration is kind of aligned. More importantly, 55% of Lancet studies suggest that there would be rise in the heat wave mortality. So these numbers are of grave concern. But still, what is more important is the heat wave states wherever now we are witnessing, whether it is Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, Jharkhand, all of these states have got landscape eruptions or disruptions happened at more than 65 to 70%. That means our natural ecosystems have some way or the other been disrupted. As a result, what is happening? The circular heat cycle is getting trapped. Our oceans are getting hotter. Our lands are getting hotter. And hence our monsoonal patterns are deferred. Seasonal patterns are deferred. Hence, we are trying to kind of manage this perfect storm, trying to manage it at an ad hoc basis. I'll stop there.
Okay, you're right. We are trying to manage it, but are we trying to manage it in an ad hoc basis? By the looks of it, yes. Mahesh Palawat, just come in here. Fact is that this is the time when we would be preparing, for the monsoon, right?
Yeah.
And here we are prepping for a heat wave. Here So could you tell us what the prediction is as far as the heat is concerned across India, and what explains this?
See, Shreya, Mr. Mohanty has rightly pointed out that there should have been a monsoon rains over eastern parts of the country by now, particularly over Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha, eastern parts of Uttar Pradesh. But monsoon is lagging behind because the cyclone Biparjoy, which has pulled almost all the moisture towards it, and monsoon was stagnant over South India as well as over eastern parts of the country. But now the cyclone has dissipated and it is moving as a low pressure area over eastern parts of Uttar Pradesh. And now this low pressure area will pull the monsoon current from Bay of Bengal, and rain activities are anticipated anytime soon in next 24 to 48 hours, leading to abatement of heat wave over most parts of East India. So the monsoon rain will be very fast. Now the progress of monsoon will be very fast across Indo-Gangetic plains and central parts of the country, because low pressure area will be giving heavy to very heavy rain over many parts of Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, and the monsoon will pull. You can say pull effect will be there due to this low pressure area. Eastern parts of country as well as Uttar Pradesh, and monsoon will reach very soon by 27 or 28 of June over Delhi, parts of Haryana, eastern parts of Punjab, as well as Uttarakhand and some parts of Himachal Pradesh. So heat wave will persist for another 24 to 48 hours. Thereafter, there will be relief. Yeah.
So no, heat wave will persist for the next 24 to 48 hours over North India, sir, and then it will abate, or is it just East India and then it will abate?
Yeah, it will be over East India. Then the western parts, northwestern parts of the country will have to wait much longer up till 27 or 28 of June. During that time, we expect that monsoon will progress over northwest India, particularly over western parts of Uttar Pradesh, most parts of Madhya Pradesh, eastern parts of Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, but Rajasthan and Gujarat. These two states have been experiencing very heavy downpours since last 4 to 5 days, but now weather is going to be dry over these areas for at least next 7 to 8 days. So heat wave will once again reappear over parts of Gujarat and Rajasthan, and it will be continuing until end of the month, because monsoon rains will be approaching those areas by end of the month or first week of July. Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, Mr. Palawat, what you are telling us is that while East India will get some relief from the heat, fact is that Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, other states in the Northern Belt, till the 27th or the 28th, the heat wave will continue. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much, Mahesh Palawat, for joining us on the broadcast. Abinash Mohanty, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast as well, and giving us a perspective about how what is happening around the world weather-wise is connected really, and what is going to happen in India over the next 48 to 72 hours. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us.